back to another podcast. I'm your host or hosties. Lil Darius to my left or right of you. I believe you're my left, your left, and Zoo is underneath Zoo Wop. Um, we're gonna let Darius get everything off his chest. He's been trying to get off his chest since the season started, college and NFL. So he has the floor for about 30 minutes. So if you want to stick around and listen to the 30-minute flow, go ahead. We here vibing. So it's all you. Well, Zoo, you got something to say before Darius talk 30 minutes? Because he talking 30 minutes.
Yeah. Before you get started, which is rightfully so, but it's right. Hey man, happy holidays, happy New Year, man. We made it to 2023, man. I'm glad we started this in 2022. We rolled it in 2023. Expect bigger and better things from us as a family. Keep rocking with us. Keep chatting with us. We'll keep it going. Now to my brother Darius.
So here it is, right? I've been hearing a lot of chatter, been seeing my Twitter feed go crazy about whether Brandon Staley should be fired after his first game, depending on the outcome. This is the dumbest thing I've heard, right? Stephen Smith started this train. A lot of people are upset about Mike Williams getting hurt. Listen, this is football, right? You play these guys, so millions of dollars to play 17 games. Their last game count. I don't care what's this for, right? Mike Williams, Keenan Allen, and Justin Herbert played 23% of the Chargers' offensive snaps this year. 23%. It was guaranteed that they needed to play, right? They found a little rhythm, so they struggled versus the Titans, right? We didn't look good offensively versus the Titans. We looked a lot better versus the Colts. So Brandon Staley thinking, which I agree with, you go in against Denver and you try to keep that going. Mike Williams get hurt right before halftime. Those things you cannot, you cannot control. You cannot control people injuries, right? So a lot of people want to talk about if they lose, he should be fired. That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard, right? He's in his second year. He has a winning record in the last 2 years, right? And you talk about questionable decision. What people want to say? People want to say, "Wait, what about last year when they missed the playoffs?" Man, we had a whole game. You're not going to sit here. Nobody in the world can convince me that they lost that game because he went for it deep in his own territory. Nobody in the world can convince me that. Because I can point out a number of plays that I'm like, well, if you really want to go game by game, so I love to watch film with a lot of people. If you really want to take it to their, oh, they don't. No, that's not why we lost the game. We lost the game because we couldn't get one stop, right? So then you fast forward to this year. For 13 weeks, we were the most injured team in the NFL, right? We started getting guys back. All those teams that we was injured with. You got Tennessee, you got the Saints, you got the who else was down there? Whoever it was, uh,
Cardinal.
Cardinals.
Cardinals. You got the Cardinals, you got Denver, you got all these teams that's down there with us, and there's only one team that made the playoffs, right? Out of all the teams that was very injured, that dealt with injuries so badly, there's only one of them that made the playoffs. He deserves some. Now I understand, like some of his decisions are questionable, but that's who he is, right? But you got to take the good with the bad. You point me out one coach in the NFL that doesn't make a questionable decision. One coach, right? Charger fans, and I'm going. I've been saying this all week.
Andy
Charger fans
Reid.
are the worst fans in the NFL. They are the absolute worst fans in the NFL. We have the worst fan base in the NFL
Is
because
that
they
really
complain
trash?
about everything and they're never satisfied, right?
Oh,
We are. There's no way we should be in the playoffs right now. With what we dealt with, Keenan Allen played what 5 games.
well, that's why you get you a QB, right?
Well,
I,
QB can
I,
only do so much.
I mean, I'm just throwing it out there. I mean,
QB only gonna do so much. It was against San Francisco, fan. We ran 13 personnel for the entire second half. I can. San Francisco didn't take the lead until late in the fourth quarter, right? That's Brandon Staley. Whether people want to admit it or not, Brandon Staley is the reason we're in the playoffs right now. You can point out Justin Herbert, you can point out Austin Eckler all you want to, but Brandon Staley is 100% the reason why we in the playoffs right now. And to put things in perspective, how bad the offense was for the complete entirety of the season, Austin Eckler has 107 receptions. Mike Williams and Keenan Allen missed a combined 13 games of a 17-game season. They missed 13 games.
Yeah, I need to go get some more wide receivers then, my boy.
No, you can't calculate injuries, bro. You cannot. If you would,
But Keenan
I
Allen
never
ain't been
told
healthy
y'all
for the last 2 years, to be honest.
that's not true. That's not true at all. He played the whole season last 2 years.
That's Mike. Mike the one who been
Mike the one battling injuries. Mike, he played the whole season last year and he was battling injury then.
My bad, I got the wrong one.
But you can't calculate injuries, bro. You cannot. When I was giving y'all my projections, injuries was never a part of it. I never imagined Keenan Allen missing 8 games. I never imagined Mike Williams missed 6 games. I never imagined Joey Bosa missing 3 months, or J.C. Jackson blowing his knee out, or Austin Johnson going on IR, or Tito Obunga going on IR, or Rashawn Slater going on IR, or Jalen Guyton going on. I can keep going, right? I never imagined it. Or Corey Lindsey missing 6 games. I never calculated it. But to be where we are today, to have a chance, just like these other top teams in the league, to have a chance to be playing in February, Brandon Staley deserves some credit, if not all the credit. And people want to fire him over what? Because he missed the playoffs last year? Last year.
First year.
First year. And we want to talk about firing him because we missed the playoffs last year. Because Mike Williams got hurt on some things he can't even control. Right? Kansas City played they whole starters. Cincinnati went in with Baltimore, who was playing a third string quarterback, and Cincinnati played the entire game. Cincinnati starters played the entire game. Baltimore went in accepting they was gonna be the 6th seed. They didn't care. They inactivated Mark Andrews and J.K. Dobbins and a couple more people. So I don't want to hear. And they played the entire game.
Yeah.
So I don't want to hear about resting starters. Now other teams played their starters. Other teams suffer injuries. But what we should have learned. That's why we the worst fan base in the world. What if this season had taught us nothing else, bro? Is next man up every week. We've learned to win every week with whoever's playing. And I personally got faith in Josh Palmer. So, and Mike Williams is going to play, but I just had to get that out.
Is that your time?
Yeah, that's my time.
For sure.
You 8 minutes solid, my boy.
Okay. Oh, so why you there? What's your thoughts on Saturday?
We gonna win. We gonna win.
What if y'all lose?
Right. But
what's your
let me say this. Let me say this.
What if we lose?
Let me say that. Let me say this. I know you never gonna, and ain't no person in this world gonna say they team gonna lose. So that was a dumb question by us. Let's say, what will cause y'all to lose the game though? Like, what will be the issue if y'all so happen don't come out with the victory?
I don't have one answer for you because we're gonna come out with the victory. But here we are, right? So let me go back to this other point. Now people starting, so they did this with Tua, right? We saw how that turned out. People starting to say, well, Trevor Lawrence is better than Justin Herbert. At what point did we ever start considering it?
What, Trevor Lawrence was better than Justin Herbert?
Yes.
I ain't never considered it.
Nobody's ever considered it. I like Trevor Lawrence. I picked Jags to win the AFC South. Trevor Lawrence, probably one of my favorite young quarterbacks in the league. But at what point did we ever say Justin Herbert and Trevor Lawrence are on the same tier? Right? He had one good season and he's better than Justin Herbert. So they tried to do this with Tua. We see how that turned out for Miami Dolphins. Now here we are again, and I'm gonna tell you they're gonna do it every round. They're gonna pick the Chargers to lose every round. Not in this, despite how the team played. However the team played, they want the Chargers to lose so they can have smoke to get Brandon Staley fired. Why people hate Brandon Staley so bad? I don't know.
I don't think he'd get fired this year.
No, I don't think he will either.
It has to be next season. He has to have not make the playoffs again, and then they'll find a way to fire him. But I mean, it won't be no coach they'll want to get if Sean Payton goes somewhere. So,
and I'm glad you brought that up. That's what started all of this. Sean Payton came out early this season and said he wanted to coach Justin Herbert in the Chargers. And ever since then, people have been finding a way. May I add, side note, Sean Payton is the most overrated coach in the NFL. But people have been trying to find a way to say that he should lose his job. For whatever reason, he should lose his job. Despite having 14 starters on injury reserve, he should lose his job. Despite having the best free agency in Chargers history, he should lose his job. Despite getting his team to the playoffs, he should lose his job, right?
Mm-hmm.
After all it is, people still want this man fired for Sean Payton. I don't, bro. Sean Payton is a good coach. He is. But I'm not for to sit here and act like everybody else and act like he's on the tier with Andy Reid and Bill Belichick. He is not them. He had one Super Bowl appearance. He won that Super Bowl, but he had one Super Bowl appearance. There's a lot of coaches that got one Super Bowl appearance. What makes him any different from any other coaches that got one Super Bowl appearance?
Well,
There isn't one.
Well, they consistently was there.
Yeah, I mean,
Consistently very well.
They consistently had a chance to win the championship.
Yeah, I think
I'm not saying
consistently where.
Well, they was either in the divisional round or in the championship.
You don't get that's not
I didn't say. Wait a minute. I didn't say you get anything. But
a
lot of them one championship coaches ain't consistently there.
Kyle Shanahan getting praised for that. I get what you're saying. Though. I do think there's a fluff that comes with it, but I mean, that's just what it is. When you are, especially when it comes to offensive guys, come on, bro. If he is one of the top, if not comparable for the top offensive mind in the league. Andy Reid is probably one. I'm saying Andy Reid is probably one. Sean's probably two. You can debate how you want, but you got to think about he's connected to a Hall of Fame quarterback, fam. Like, don't act like.
Here's my defense. Here's my defense. What coach couldn't have coached Drew Brees, Michael Thomas, a great offensive line, a disciplined defense? Y'all defense, Sean Payton wasn't a catalyst to y'all defense. Y'all Saints defense was still good since he left. So what coach couldn't have coached that team?
Yeah.
So wait a minute.
So been there.
So let me.
Everybody could have been there. The Saints were a great team with or without Sean Payton, with Drew Brees.
So let me get this right. So you saying if Sean Payton is not the head coach of the Saints for all those years, they are consistently a playoff team?
Okay. Yes. With Drew Brees, Michael Thomas, yes.
I'm saying you thinking about a certain roster though. You're not mentioning the part from the start what he brought New Orleans from. So that build up to the Super Bowl, the offense he kept running with whoever was at receiver. Drew Brees was the only thing that was the staple at the time. Running back room was 3 or 4 guys. Your best tight end. Then you had an all world tight end at one point, Jimmy Graham. The rest of the guys, receiver rooms rotation. Yeah. So when you get to the team that's Drew Brees, Mike Thomas, who happens to be a gem in the draft. Then you get an AK who's a gem in the third, and that little 4 or 5 years they've been together with Sean. You just add his genius to some stars, and that's what you get. You get the result. So I get what you're saying. Like, yeah, that's a really good team, but it still got to take somebody to run operation, and we'll never get to know who can mess it up. So
the offensive-minded coach,
yeah,
could have ran that team, right? Sean Payton did a lot of praise.
Wait a minute. Ain't Pete Carmichael offensive-minded coach?
That's not what I meant.
Okay.
Frank Wright could have ran that team.
I'm just double checking.
Frank Wright could have won.
That's a hypothetical we can't deal with.
But Josh McDaniels could have won with that team.
He ain't do it. Nah, you know. Okay, with the defense at the time, sure.
Yeah.
Defense at the time, sure.
Absolutely. So Sean
did a lot. Well, whatever what Josh McDaniels just underperformed with, Sean balled out with that in New Orleans prior to.
But but you're missing the key factor though, right? So it don't matter. Here's the thing: it don't matter where Tom Brady goes. He gonna find his way to the playoffs, and this coach gonna look like he's this great mastermind coach. No, he's not. It's Tom Brady. Just like no, it's not. It's Drew Brees, bro. It don't matter who coaching them. Drew Brees and Tom Brady, those guys are coaches on the field. They understand football. So you get those guys, then you get Sean Payton, who's supposed to be.
Well, technically, Tom shouldn't have been in the playoffs this year.
True, but what do you say about the
you say what?
He was average in San Diego? Because there's a lot of people who make that bark.
What do you say?
Is what about the people who say Drew Brees was casual in San Diego?
He was, but Drew Brees was battling injuries. We were one of the worst franchises. He was selected, second overall, right? We was a bad team. Then he got hurt. His third year? Then we drafted Phillip Rivers. top of the draft again. Then he moves on, and I don't got no. I love Drew Brees, right? It worked out for both franchises, if you ask me. But moral of the story is,
Yeah.
a lot of people are raving over Sean Payton. He got one Super Bowl appearance, bro. This is not Bill Belichick. This is not Andy Reid, right?
Well,
Right.
Those
let's
guys
get
got
this.
multiple Super Bowl appearances and multiple Super
So
Bowl wins.
so let's
Right.
get
But
this. Let's
think
get this
about think
straight.
about
Let's get
Andy
this
Reid.
straight.
Andy Reid only got one Super Bowl win, right?
He got two. Didn't he win with Philly?
No,
No, they lost to New England.
Oh, wait,
It made
he
it
been? How many times he been?
3.
going on 3 now.
No, he's been 3.
So I'm
He's
saying
been
like the
three,
marriage,
right?
I'm saying
He's
got
been
there
3.
is
Philly twice
I do
and
think
Chiefs.
I think there's a time about when a marriage works, right? So like when a Drew Brees gets with a Sean Payton, somebody who's highly thoughtful in the offensive mindset and a quarterback that's just really good at their job.
All right. Look.
Whether it's mechanics and everything else. So I think that marriage worked out because
Question. I got an excellent question. What's the difference between Sean Payton and John Harbaugh?
Jim Harbaugh, John,
John Harbaugh. What's the difference?
Sean Payton and John Harbaugh.
I mean,
That's Baltimore head coach, right?
yeah,
It's John.
it's
I
Josh.
thought-
Whoever bought
This is
John,
John.
right?
I know who you're talking
Yeah.
about. I don't think that's his name.
Baltimore head coach. What's the difference between Baltimore head coach
It might
and
be.
Sean Payton?
I mean,
Yeah, I mean, it isn't one. It isn't one. But nobody was sought after John Harbaugh for whatever reason. Sean Payton is the most overrated coach in the NFL.
Okay, let me give you this.
He's a good coach. He's a good coach. Don't get me wrong.
So
But he's not who people think he is.
let me pose this question. So is
you gotta think
Bill?
about what they saying though. They talking about
Motherfucker!
offense. My fault, fam.
Let me pose this question. So what you saying?
And the Tigers just lost, so I'm tight.
Nah,
Oh, you wasting your time.
They be pissing me off anyway.
Bro,
So
people be making hella shots like these people. All right, go ahead. My fault. My fault.
look, the question is, would you say the same thing about Bill Belichick? When we're gonna get to you, would you say the same thing about Bill Belichick? Because since Tom Brady has left, Bill Belichick has not did anything. So would you say Tom Brady was the catalyst to that team, or was that Bill Belichick coaching?
I answered that question earlier. I said if you get a team like somebody like Tom Brady and Drew Brees, you put those guys as like coaches on the field.
So that's
right?
what I'm saying. So is Bill
But you
Belichick a
take-
sought out coach?
You take but you can't say a coach that won 7 Super Bowls that he's not some type of a coach. He got multiple Super Bowl appearances and he got multiple Super Bowl wins.
Could be a player.
So but I'm saying though, like let's not act like context don't matter to how we ain't got to a Super Bowl again.
Got one. We ain't gonna go into
But,
detail.
hey,
There's
bro,
2 of them we probably
Hey,
got
talk
robbed
about
from, but
why
I'm
y'all
just
didn't
saying.
make it. I just know y'all didn't make it. Here I am though. You know how my approach is. You cannot explain to me that one play prevented y'all from the Super Bowl. It's 60 minutes played in the game.
No.
You telling me 30 seconds of a play stopped y'all from
Yes.
out of 60
Yes,
minutes?
Darius, you can lose off of one play. Darius, you can lose off of one play.
Me and you talked after that in real time. We agree that's a close.
It's a tough loss.
Even
But
though
I'm not gonna say that play is the reason why y'all lost. What about the plays that led up to it?
that's the closest thing you ever
Darius,
seen.
it don't matter. Look, it don't
It does
matter.
matter.
No,
You
it
can't-
doesn't because they had the lead. So when they got the lead, it didn't matter about nothing else until that play happened. And that one play lost the game because
You
it was
cannot
no
convince
time
me.
left. All right,
You
dude.
wasting your breath. You cannot convince me at a 60 minutes, 30 seconds of that 60 minutes is why y'all lost. I just don't. You just can never. I'm sorry, not even 30. 4 seconds of you cannot just convince me.
Well, this my last point in terms of Sean anyway, because he ain't gonna do what I got going on. But I wouldn't say overrated, because I think for what's asked of for the league right now and what the options are because of what people really ask about for your team, because you have a Justin Herbert, you got a Mike Williams, a Keenan Allen. Sean is a higher valued product for what you got on hand. The defense.
Debatable.
The defense he don't mess with no way. So like he done did it with no defense, some defense, a great defense. But for what y'all got on offense, overrated would be, I think, is an understatement to who he is for what y'all could do with him if he was to have that in his arsenal. Brandon Staley's a defensive coach, so you don't expect him to make y'all offense look boom. Now, granted, Joe Lombardi is doing decent enough, but you know what I mean?
Sean Payton, but if Sean Payton comes, guess who's going to stay? Joe Lombardi's not going to leave. He's not. It's going to be the same exact offense. We run the same exact offense that the Saints run. They've been talking about that shit last year. How Mike Williams got so much involved because Joe Lombardi bought these Saints. He got this Michael Thomas comparison, all this crazy stuff. Right? So what? I don't understand what people want other than this overrated coach.
Yeah, but I mean, the coach, the style of play which your coach is not what y'all known for, what y'all good at either. I know that's an act for a lot of people.
This is my response. Before Brandon Staley came, we used to lose those one possession games. We used to lose those. We used to tough up those games before Brandon Staley came. All that shit changed. We are a whole different franchise. Winning those one possession games now. Controlling the game. We're not making mistakes. Special teams in the top 10. Never been in the top 10 since I've been the fan.
Look.
Right defense still terrible. But
So you safe to say you're not worried about the Jaguars at all. I mean, other than it
He never said that.
a football game, an actual game, anything's possible, obviously. But
Look, bro, I don't know any person, just like he answered earlier. I don't know any person who gonna say they team gonna lose.
Yeah.
So you can ask Darius if they were playing the Kansas.
Time, bro.
I know.
I'm
I
never gonna
don't.
tell y'all that we lose. That we gonna lose.
I just say that. I just want you to. I know there's something that you watch about the Jaguars. It's like something to look at.
Listen, Doug Peterson is one of the best coaches in the league right now. Right? They got an up and coming team. But my motto is, it is always hard to beat a good team twice. And when they beat us, Keenan Allen wasn't there.
Facts.
When they beat us, Joey Bosa got hurt in the first 3 drives.
Facts.
Corey Lindsey didn't play. Justin Herbert just came off the injury, just had broke his ribs the game before. And we was trying to be, it's all these things you got to take effect of, right? Now you're going to have Joey Bosa for a field game. Michael Davis has been playing the best football at corner and probably in the league, right? Bosa and Mack, they back on the edge. Cal Van Norden turned the clock back. He got 5 sacks in 5 games.
That's crazy.
Kenneth Murray and Drew Tranquil, they both playing downhill. Then you get the full complement back, and Rashawn Slater returned back to practice. Well, he won't play this weekend, but if we go back in next weekend, you got our full offense healthy since week 1.
We'll see. I mean, anything happens in football. So I know you won't disagree with that. So
no.
So
Jacksonville's not to be taken lightly.
So look, a couple people in the chat said that we're gonna get to college in a second. They said Tom Brady is a great player and had an amazing role players. Belichick didn't run the team. He called bullshit plays, and Tom Brady made it work. And then Zero said Darius is faded. I'm pretty sure it's off that take of one play can't lose the game.
Who? I'll say what?
That one play can't lose you a game.
It can't, bro. You cannot explain to me how 6 seconds can cost you 60 minutes of a game. But anyway, Zero is obviously biased. And that Tom Brady, that Bill Belichick didn't run that team is crazily outlandish, right?
Yeah.
It's 2 people who get credit when you're doing good and when you're doing bad, and they go both ways. And who are those 2 people?
Coaching a quarterback.
Coaching a quarterback, right? Those teams were well constructed. This Patriots team was well constructed, but they struggling at the quarterback position because he don't have that offensive coordinator, because he don't have that Josh McDaniels. But this team was well enough to compete in the playoffs defensively, but offensively, Mac Jones had his worst year. His numbers were terrible. His QBR is like 52 on the year. But that's what happens when you got Mac.
Good either.
It was better than 52.
I mean,
but that's what happens when you get Matt Patricia calling plays versus Josh McDaniels. And the Raiders got top 5 offense scoring. It's a difference. So if he would have
but let's not sugarcoat it. They also got, based off of this year, top 5 players, top 5 and top 10 players when healthy.
Who you talking about?
Devontae is a top receiver.
Raiders.
Based off of
the Raiders.
Oh yeah. based off of this year, Josh Jacobs will probably be a top 8 running back. And then you also, if Darren Waller is healthy, if this is healthy, Chad, Darren Waller will probably be a top 5 tight end. So that makes sense for Josh McDaniels to do that. And also, the Patriots ain't got nobody over there. You can't name a receiver that you be like, well, yeah, he gonna go out there and do it. Besides Myers, and I believe he's a number 2 or 3 receiver.
But that's always been the Raiders' recipe. Not the Raiders, the Patriots' recipe, right? So they never, outside of Randy Moss, they never had a true number 1 receiver.
True statement.
Ever, right? So they normally get these guys together. But what's the common denominator when they get these guys together? Teflon Tom. So right, so Belichick's gonna construct these plays.
Sound like it's Tom Brady then, huh?
Hey, no. Man, call that man Teflon Tom. My lord.
That's his name.
Okay, go
That's
ahead.
his name?
No, I don't know who call him that.
His name is definitely faded, Chad.
Teflon Tom.
Nah, bro, I ain't going with that. Get that out of here.
Hey, Phil, I'll just tell you what they told me.
Hey, look. So what? Go ahead.
I was saying I want you the messenger, Phil.
Hey, look.
So to your point though, you talking about like it sound like Tom Brady. That game they ran versus the Rams, bro, that was all Bill Belichick. That Super Bowl they ran versus the Rams, they jumped like 9-6 or 12-6 or whatever it was.
Yeah, it was terrible.
I don't disagree with it.
Bill Belichick got his fingerprints all over it.
That's one game though.
That's what was
2003, 2004. Don't Bill Belichick Super Bowls. We can go back and forth. Bro, Tom Brady was very, very okay.
Very, very okay. If you got to say very okay 3 times, you would pass okay.
Ultimately, I think the marriage just got to work. However, look, whether it's a defensive guy who trusts his offensive coordinator and his quarterback enough to let them do their thing to the maximum ability. Hey, we're going to hold it down. We're going to hold them to 20 and below. You go out there and give us something to defend, right? Or it's an offensive guy with a young quarterback or a savvy quarterback that's like, hey, we speak the same language. We thinking the same thing on the field. I'm gonna let you have the reins. Go out there and throw up 30 for me. The opportunities are gonna be there. Take them and make it work. And whether it's a window of a year, 2 years, 7 years, or 1 season, either it works or it don't. It depends on how patient your GM and ownership is in the fan base, whether you think he's good or not. So, shoot.
All right. So look, who is y'all predictions for the first round playoff victories? And each week we just gonna go by week. So you got the Jags, Chargers, and chat. If whoever y'all got winning, y'all can put in the chat as well. Jags, Chargers, and go ahead, Darius. Who you got? I'm not gonna ask you the final score, but if you want to give it, you can.
Obviously winning because they're going against like Skeletons. No, they don't. They got Saturday game. No, San Francisco
San Francisco
got Saturday game.
Yeah.
I got Seattle in the upset versus San Francisco. Team Gino.
Yeah, you do.
I got the charge. No, I'm not even just saying it because I like Gino, but it's hard to beat the
team 3 times.
That's true.
Saints should know that firsthand, right? So I got the Chargers versus Jacksonville, obviously. I got Buffalo versus Miami, and they going against a third-string quarterback. I got the Giants in the upset.
Against Minnesota?
Yeah, I just got to come down who's going to play defense better, and there's obviously not Minnesota, right? It really depends on if Lamar Jackson plays or not. If Lamar Jackson plays, I take Baltimore. If he don't play, I'm taking Cincinnati.
Take Cincy.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Zoo. I got Cincy. I got the Chargers winning. I got 49ers winning. I do got the Giants in the upset versus the Vikings. And who else plays Saturday? That's it?
Buffalo, Miami.
Buffalo, Miami.
We only got to talk about that. And then who plays Sunday? That's it. That's all the games, ain't it? It's one more game.
Yeah.
Y'all forgetting.
Tampa Bay and
yeah.
Dallas.
I got Tampa.
I got Tampa. Yeah, I got Tampa too.
Ultimately, my picks are like Josh's essentially. So I got San Fran. I got the Chargers. I got the Giants in the upset. I got Cincy, and then I got I for the sake of the news cycle, I would love to see Tampa win it just because Jerry Jones back. Mike McCarthy, I want to see if he stand by his word if they were to lose. But honestly, when I biasly and just I think Dak shake back and make a performance happen. So I got Dallas beat Tampa Bay.
Nope, not on road. Okay, so look,
Thanks.
what y'all think about the fires? I think any fire would be justified.
Lovie Smith getting fired is injustifiable.
Yeah. But I mean
agree
that
with
was I knew that was gonna happen regardless.
I
So
actually agree with that.
They did that back to back. Like it's crazy that they did it back to back.
It wasn't no. I just
There's
wasn't
no
surprised.
evidence on why he got fired. We knew the team was bad. Everybody knew the team was bad. I don't understand.
You don't understand
I
what
think
the
it.
expectation was.
I think it was because they didn't tank.
It's the same thing 2 years in a row. The team's bad. You get a coach in there to hope try to put something together for a year and figure it out next year, but you fire him.
He gonna, at this point, the next coach should just get fired.
But it's gonna be so hard for them to get a coach, especially a coach of color, because you gonna fire me after because they're proven they gonna get fired after a year. It's kind of hard to go from as last to the playoffs, fam, with the roster you have.
Yeah, and they look better too this year.
They competed in the game.
They didn't even play bad this year. I mean, they just don't have the players that everybody else got
They don't have a QB.
at all. They got no
the consistent receivers are not there. They got Cooks, and he getting double.
I want to play there.
Hey, he getting double either way it go. He getting double either way it go. The line is okay. The defense was the shining spot with.
And they all young, so none of them.
And they all young. Like your best players are probably rookies. Krishna Harris, Jalen Petre, Derek Stingley, Damian Pierce. Those guys are rookies. I don't even know who on your D line.
I mean,
nobody knows.
So I mean, that fire didn't make sense. For the Dolphins to bring up, they might fire McDaniels is just absurd too. I don't understand why you even hired him then.
I don't really got that. I mean, I hope they do. I hope he become charges.
But I seen a state that they fired Flores, and he went the same record as.
He was the same
with better players.
He did it in reverse too. He started 1-7 and went 1-7 straight.
With let's not get this wrong. With worse players, they didn't have a Tyreek Hill. Jalen Waller was doing his thing. Tua was
a rookie though.
Tua was Tua. They didn't have a Chubb. The defense was playing crazy last year though.
Yeah. Oh yeah, the defense
they was playing. They was better last year than they were this year.
This year.
They also when it's hurt is this year. This year they
went out and got Raheem Morris. Moster. They got Chase Edmonds. I think he got traded though.
Traded. They picked the Butch call. They went and got Jeff Wilson after that.
I mean, I don't understand that logic. Who else got fired out there?
Hackett, we knew he was gonna get fired though.
Well,
yeah, Hackett was.
Well, we starting to figure out it probably clip. I mean, we knew he was gonna get fired. He was going for it the first game of the season, every 4th down. So like. That's why I knew his year was over with.
Cliff can come be the coach though. I mean, OC, what's up with it?
Who?
Cliff come be the OC in Los Angeles. I was gonna lobby for him going back to Texas A&M, but they didn't have Bob Petrino. They so toxic down there. I can't wait. I
You signing over your fandom fam?
No.
Hey, Darius, if they lose, I'm gonna let you know something now.
Nah, I agree. If they lose, I mean. But here's the thing: I got no biasness to Jimbo. Like,
yeah, I ain't got no bias to Jimbo either. I'm just letting you know what I've seen the last 3 years with him.
If he sucked, you gotta go. Yeah, you gotta go.
This year, if he suck, he getting fired throughout this season.
I mean, but it's a win for him. He's gonna get like 80 M's.
Yeah.
I mean, well, they wouldn't have to pay him 80 M's. I think it switched from 80 to I would say I think like 40 or 50. I mean, they'll do that. They'll buy that out.
40. I said you getting paid on the way out.
They actually might even buy that out. Hopefully, if it's under that, I don't know what it exactly will drop to. I think it's somewhere in the 40s though. I don't think they're gonna buy that out. But to college football, do y'all think this is a question we're gonna start off? Do y'all think if Michigan was in the game versus Georgia, that outcome would have been different?
Mm-hmm.
It might have been they still would have got blown. I don't think it would have been as bad. I still think it would have got blown. I think
I had
Georgia athletes
42
would
to
have been.
17.
Thing. The best team played Georgia in the semifinals.
Oh yeah, I agree with that.
Let me rephrase it. The best threat
Since
to
it
beat
wasn't
Georgia,
USC, since it
Yeah,
wasn't USC.
the best threat to beat Georgia played them in the semifinals.
Yep.
And it came down to a kick. So a lot of people was like, well, TCU shouldn't have been there. Georgia shouldn't have been there either. Right? If he makes the kick, if he does his job, he got one. He only got one job. He does his job. Ohio State probably hoisting their trophy. So regardless, the winner between Georgia and Ohio State was going to win the championship.
Yeah, we knew that. I think everybody knew that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they was going to win it.
I think
But
everybody knew that.
That kicker should have made it because Ohio State was by far the better team. Georgia made 4 plays in the fourth quarter and won the game.
Look, Georgia struggles with, and I think this is probably about every year for the last couple of years, with receivers who's going to be in the draft.
TCU Georgia played too high the entire game, but TCU tried to run deep every play.
Yeah, it's not going to work.
It's not gonna work. They literally stopping it, man. You literally got to take what they give you. Get on the ground, throw it short, deep crosses, ovals, all this stuff. Right? You got to bring them down. Like you sat there, the protection held up in the first quarter, so it wasn't like they were just getting trashed.
But also the key was, and this is Kirby
They
Smart.
got up
Georgia was on the hunt.
They get up, yeah.
And the key was those little short dink and dumps or short passes, Georgia was tackling. So it from the missed tackles against athletes against Ohio State, they was missing them tackles. Because they on the same, let's get it right, same skill level, aka 5 and 4 stars, as Georgia. So it looked different. TCU had like 1 5-star on their team. Like that ain't gonna look good versus Georgia, who's been racking up 5 stars for 4 or 5 years.
And it just looked like they was just so much slower than Georgia.
Slow.
Like it wasn't even nothing fancy Georgia was doing, bro. They were just beating them to the edges. I'm like, bro, what is happening?
Like you trying to beat Georgia in a lateral game, bro. They can run just as fast, bro. I'm like, your fastest guy wasn't even fast out there.
And that's crazy. That's really crazy.
He's actually pretty dang fast. Like watching him run, I know he can run for real.
And it doesn't. I hate to say this though, but it doesn't really look good for those people who lobbies for a 12-team playoffs.
No. Let's not get this misunderstood. Texas is gonna get the recruits.
Yeah, it's certain.
They can compete with Georgia. They gonna get the recruits, but that's gonna take time. But that 12-team lobby, that 12-team lobby,
I don't know who the quarterback's gonna do.
I really believe that it's unfair to half the schools, because when it starts, it's gonna be 3 SEC schools, maybe 4. It's gonna be 3 Big Ten teams, and maybe 4, and then everybody else is gonna be a fucking fill-in.
I'm gonna tell you why I disagree with it. Because those teams got to play each other.
They do got to play each other, but look at this.
And it also depends.
It's no longer if they lose, they are out of it. Penn State finishing it, Ohio State finishing it, and Michigan finishing it.
But that's kind of what we want to see, right? We want to see we want to see Alabama, even though they had 2 losses. We want to see Alabama on the big stage.
Well, I want to see Alabama play. I want to see them at a lower seed and fight their way to the top. Not normally Alabama gets that treatment of like, well, we're gonna put them up against. They have a loss and an undefeated team, but even though Alabama finished the season hot, we're gonna put them at 1. You know what I mean? And then we know who they playing. They gonna play the worst team out of the 3, because that's why they ranking them. So like, I just feel like to see Bama not get, they play the top dog first, and then if they win, they gonna play the next top dog out of the top dog.
Yeah.
Now you fighting to win it. So now we're gonna see what your team talking about.
Ain't no 2-game turnaround where you can just get 2 off and get in. I also think though, like
it probably would still be a 2. It probably still be a 2-game turnaround still. just about.
True.
Just about to ask. I wonder how they're gonna work. Are they gonna like shorten the
I think they're gonna shorten the season
season?
to 13 games instead of 15. So the conference championship will make 14 throughout the year, and then you have to go straight to it like that.
FCS turn around like you do,
Or they might just do 10,
run straight
10,
into
10
it.
or 11 to get to 15, 12. You play 3
Well, that's
games.
gonna
after
be
that.
hard to do 10 because you gotta calculate the non-conference games.
So it's gonna be 12. They probably gonna do 12,
Because you have one.
and then you're gonna have the 3 playoff games if you win them all.
Everybody get a cake. Everybody get a non-conference. You run the rest. But like even then, but I mean,
Well, they might just keep it the same and just change all the bowl games to playoff games.
playoff games instead. I think also this will work. This will work though, right? If all the conferences come alive, right? If the ACC resurges itself into any type of something, right? So they get like 2 or 3 that can go in.
Who?
Like the ACC, if they get like
ACC?
ACC, sorry, ACC, right? They get 1 or 2 because Clemson, we can give them a shot to be in, but like a Florida State or Miami, if they were to really be something, get in there. Those are teams that you would like. College football would like to see because they have names, they've got history, some that you would throw in a 12-team playoff and maybe shock and be worth the run rather than looking at a Cincinnati play
But
or
just think of,
whoever else.
but this is why I say to go off the 12 playoff teams. Just think about it. Out of the 12 teams that finished the year, besides fucking USC, you didn't have a non-power 5 in there except Tulane. I believe Tulane was the only non-power 5.
Yeah.
But it's typically always the case. They only gonna have one non-power 5.
But then you go look at the other conferences. Who was in there? You had 2 Pac-12s. Well, 3 before USC lost. But everything else was Big Ten and SEC. Literally. Big Ten had 3 at least, and the SEC had 5.
Well, I mean, justifiably though, who was you put in there? I mean, like you said, the ACC was terrible.
Based on how they finished.
But that's what you're gonna start seeing more of. So it don't matter if A&M loses to Bama, LSU. They got a shot. They ain't gonna drop them.
But it just eliminates the excuses, though, right? That's just what it is. Like, hey, we done expanded it as far as we can.
But this is why I don't want to see rematches unless it's deeper in the playoff run. Figure it out. Do not LSU play A&M last game of the season, and then they end up being the matchup in the playoff. Figure it out. Put somebody else there. Let's see somebody else play though.
They're gonna mix it. They have to.
They gotta mix that. I cannot sit there and watch LSU back-to-back weeks because it's hard to beat a team back-to-back weeks.
Hard to beat the team twice.
Yeah, but I'm saying if it's back-to-back weeks, it's even more difficult.
And that's why, I mean, it's crazy. I mean, I know I'm mixing the two, but that's kind of why I was like, if Lamar Jackson played for Baltimore, I was going to take Central because they played last week. And it's kind of, you know what I'm saying? It's like,
I just don't think their team is good enough, to be honest. I think they just Baltimore. I think they're just missing.
I mean, they
too much, but they can still win. Yeah. It's football. Don't get it wrong.
It's terrible offensively with Lamar Jackson. You tell me you gonna put the second string in, think it's supposed to be better? No. But Lamar Jackson got that type of impact that he can change the game.
Mm-hmm.
That's
at least extend the drive just a little bit longer.
He got to get back skinny too. He's fat.
Slick think he faking his injury, but
I think he.
I'd be kicking my feet up till a check clear, fam. No shot. In Miami Lamar, fam. I don't know we even discussing that.
All right, Darius, look, we're gonna end it like this, right? A&M, we ain't gonna end it with A&M, but I think A&M play Miami next year again in Miami.
Yeah,
you can put an L on Miami record again.
Yeah.
Okay.
Facts. Now look.
This might be actually some facts.
Hey, now them guys older now. They didn't got their playing experience. They done made their mistakes.
But let's just say for Miami.
We'll see.
That's true. That is true. But here's the difference. I'm a butcher his name. Wigman or Wagman, whatever his name is. He better than Tyler Van Dyke.
I don't even.
You
look. No, you don't even. Darius, you don't even got to wig it.
That's even if Tyler Van Dyke win the job because he gotta compete.
Darius, you don't even gotta wing it. Chimbo is just a better fisher than Cristobal. So you know
I
I
won't
was.
disagree.
You know what I got on Cristobal.
I won't disagree.
I'll put it on a platter for you.
Hey,
I put it like
last
this.
year was a rough year for y'all, fam.
It was, but it was. I mean, it
And y'all
was
still ain't gonna win the ACC.
Cristobal cleaning out what need to be cleaned to bring in what he wanted to bring in.
Hey, what y'all think Dion gonna do at Colorado first year? I got him winning 5 games.
Got them bit. You ain't got them Bo Esma. They gonna be Bo Esma.
5 or 6. I don't know who they really play. I think they play TCU. So that's gonna be L. They're gonna play UCLA and USC. That's 3.
2 L's.
I think they're gonna play Oregon. That's 4.
I don't know what TCU be the next year because who's their quarterback? Who they got left? The receivers gone.
Fam, Sonny Dice and Lincoln Riley, brother, is the offensive coordinator. They'll be fine.
Okay.
They'll figure out something. This ain't Cristobal going over there.
Yeah.
But you gotta think about it, right? My dog pulling in recruits. Not only he pulling in players, he pulling in coaching staff.
Mm-hmm.
Right, so
Yes.
you getting experienced coaches on this sideline coaching these young cats. NFL coaches, like I just read something today that Mike Zimmer and Willie Tackle probably for the join the coaching staff in some capacity.
Yeah, I seen that. I just saw that. It's
So,
just
so this is Colorado's schedule. They got TCU.
okay.
Yeah.
They probably gonna win though. Nebraska, Colorado State, Arizona State, Arizona. I got them starting 5-0 already.
Okay, that's that's a good.
We'll see. We don't really know what they got.
Who?
I know they got Travis Hunter. I know they got Shador, but we don't. But we ain't gonna sit here and like Colorado just got tremendously better to go out and just win 5 straight games.
But listen to their first 5 games. Listen to their first 5 games.
So let's say
You don't need much.
If it's Arizona and Arizona State on there, yeah, they gonna win them games.
You don't need much to beat Nebraska. Arizona State you don't need much to beat Arizona State. You don't need much to beat Arizona. You don't need much to beat Colorado State. TCU probably the only game, and they losing quite a bit. All right, then they get into the meat. They probably lose to Oregon State.
Yeah.
They'll beat Stanford. Then they get USC, Oregon, UCLA. That's tough. That's a tough stretch.
That's 4
That's
losses.
where it get hard.
That's 4 losses.
So we got them at 4-4 right now.
No. UCLA. They'll
5
beat
and 4.
UCLA.
5 and 4.
5-4. Okay.
We don't know. We don't know if they're gonna be UCLA. Don't push that. Don't push that.
DTR gone. Zach Charbonnet gone.
Don't push that yet. We don't know. I don't know about UCLA.
Chip Kelly though. You act like
Chip Kelly
yourself.
over there. Don't.
Man, you know how long and hard Chip Kelly. You know how long it took Dorian Thompson-Robinson to adapt to Chip Kelly's offense.
Fam.
He was there
fam.
5 years. They just got good this year.
Hey fam, that's a DTR problem, man.
That right.
Oregon and USC is the L for sure.
No, yeah, them back-to-back weeks too. That's tough.
I got them beating UCLA and Utah.
I don't got them beating Utah.
I don't know about Utah. Yeah.
If you say UCLA, I can say yeah, possibly, but not no Utah. Utah gonna return the whole
Utah
team
play
again.
like they played versus Penn State.
But Rising returning again. I don't know how.
But
But
you said
How
what?
old is he?
I don't fucking know. I think he returning again, unfortunately.
Washington State, they might lose Washington State too.
Nah,
I don't know why
I don't
State fell off
think they're gonna lose Washington State.
Washington State fell off a cliff.
They
Yeah,
lost
they
a
fell
bunch
off.
of they lost some people. But we'll see. I mean, 6 wins. That's the most I'm giving them. 5 or 6.
5 or 6 wins.
I didn't know they played Stanford, so that's a win in my books. Arizona State's a win. Arizona's a win. You can go ahead and book them. Colorado State's a win. Nebraska's probably going to be a win. TCU, don't know. Throw up in the air. Washington State will probably be a win. That'd be 6. So the max I'll go is 7 wins. I know they're not going to be USC. Well, I ain't going to say I know. It's going to be tough being USC
Michael
and
Pratt
Oregon.
just went out there and won.
What you say?
Michael Pratt went out there and won.
That's why I said I ain't gonna say it's gonna be tough to beat them
Hey,
because
Grinch is
I
back,
don't know what the defense is gonna look like.
The Grinch is back.
But I'm
bro.
gonna let you know something. If they are in the top 75 of defense, Lincoln Riley is gonna be in the playoffs next season.
Top 75.
Top 75 of total defense. Not giving up 10 yards to carry, giving up like 4 or 5. Well, that mean more. No, 4, like 5 or 6. Not giving up 10 yards a catch or 29 yards a catch. Drop that down to 15. They're going to be in the top. Lincoln going to score on anybody. It don't matter who you got over there. So it's proven. He scored on Nick Saban, all his 5 stars. He going to score. And Marvin Harrison Jr. coming to us. You heard it here first.
You heard
it here first. Now, I seen a source say that he probably ain't going to go. But the reliable source that I seen said it ain't out the question. Like, they literally over there calling him tampering him. And if Caleb Williams called me like, hey, fan, you know you the number 1 if you come.
I was going to tell him that. He's number 1 wherever he goes.
Yeah, and they also going to throw the bag at him, too. And you got a chance to play with me and go to the national title game.
He can do that in South Florida, too.
No, he can't.
No.
No, he can't.
Yeah.
He can do that at Florida State, possibly.
He can,
Jordan Travis.
No.
Heisman year.
Nope.
You say it again.
Dude, hey, send my no, they deep over there already. Jordan Travis had me year.
It'd be crazy. They play LSU to start the year. What you think that's gonna go? It's in Florida too.
I get that FSU.
What they do last year?
In Florida.
Jaden back, right? My bad. Jaden back. Never mind.
Don't put it on JD. Don't put it on JD.
But we'll see. We'll see.
JD gonna ball though.
Well, who? I like Malik Neighbors though. Or Gabe? No, Malik, right? Malik Neighbors. I like Malik Neighbors.
Neighbors. They gonna bring them. They gonna bring them back. Mason Smith coming back. That's gonna be a huge back.
That's
for
crazy
them.
right there. Yeah, that's crazy right
He
there.
gonna be a huge back for them because that run shit last year versus them was 0-9.
Man, they still some dog. Jordan Travis for the half. I'm gonna get my shirt made.
Okay. Does Florida State play a game to start the year off? I hate that game like where they play week 0 and then the other team don't play.
No, I don't think so. I think they actually start LSU.
But other than that, chat, we are out. I appreciate y'all from Lil Zoo at the bottom, Zoo Op.
Put a smile on y'all faces, boys, man. The return, the wait is over, man.
Oh, yeah, I got one more thing before we leave. You think that Cook receiver good? Jonte Cook, think that's his name? Committed to Texas?
Supposed to go to Texas?
No, ain't no. He going.
I didn't know he was
from DeSoto, Darius.
DeSoto.
No. It'd be hard for me to gauge like high school players, right? Because I don't really understand their level of competition. Like a lot of cats do be looking good, but a lot of cats be playing goddamn Hamilton for 12 games. You feel me? So,
well, hey. I truly don't think he's that good. The game that he played talent, he looked non-existent. I think they played San Francisco this year, non-existent, and he played Duncanville. He was non-existent again.
It also matters, right? I think to your point, Darius, they be playing people who were, little league for a week, but they also be the only person on their team. So then when they do play a competition in school, it's like it's 5 of them and it's 1 of him. He's not going to survive out here.
Well, the one thing I would say is the best receiver in the class for sure is him. So
is Cook?
No, it's Branch. Zachariah Branch. I watched him at All-American practice.
Going crazy. You see you watch him in the game?
He opened every play versus the 5 stars.
He's getting off. I ain't gonna lie to you.
So that's a.
Ain't gonna be much for you, man. Y'all gonna be on the couch with us anyway. Couch gang.
Yeah, it don't mean nothing to me until I start, gambling. But look, chat, we are out. We love y'all. Zulu. All right, Darius, you got any final words? Because he got skipped now.
See y'all next week. Looking forward to this weekend. I ain't gonna say nothing crazy. I know y'all want me to say something crazy, but I ain't gonna say nothing crazy. I wish everybody's team good luck for those who are making it. I know a lot of y'all can't relate.
So you got anything else to say?
Hey man, listen, man.
Hey, y'all screenshot that.
Let's get some good football this weekend, man. That's all I'm asking. I don't care what happened. Hey, wherever you put your money, put it in with confidence, baby. All right. Best stats, not dubs.
All right,
Woo.
chat. We are out. Till next time. Peace out. Follow us on YouTube, Final Possession. Follow us on Twitch, Final Possession. Follow us on. All right, let me just do the whole thing. Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, Twitch. I'm missing anything. Follow us on Final Possession. We love y'all. Peace out. Come ready for ideas next
Gang.
week.